Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Wednesday, July 6, starting with the ASX here. From this, an A wave down here, a B wave here on the daily chart, and then I'm looking at this as wave 1 and 2. Nice strong third wave here, fourth wave here, and then 1 and 2, and also 1 and 2 here, and then end up breaking through here and moving down lower. Wave 4 can get complicated, so it's possible to have wave 4 sitting over here for this, and we'll get more complicated in here. We don't need to go there unless this top here gets taken out. Okay, so I'm just fingers crossed, and hopefully that this coming down for like a ball bouncing on the ground, the first high and the second high and then another high, and we'll end up seeing this kind of get to this point and then drop through and retest it back up here and then fade at that point. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. So with wave 4 and 1 and 2 here, I think we're looking at that on the 4-hour chart as well. So slightly different here. So I'll just leave that there because I don't have the nice 5-wave structure here, but I'm also, this is 5 waves here. So I'm just going to just want to check on the 1-hour chart, just see what I've done here. Okay, I've got that on a small account, so I won't worry about that, but it's the same count, just smaller. I'm going to go to the tick chart where I've got the chart that I want. So on 2, maybe 10, we'll just bring this in. Okay, so just bring this over here so we know what we've got. So we're looking at wave 3 here with an ABC for wave 4, and don't need these guys. So yeah, I don't have the perfect 5-wave structure down here, so that's why this wave 4 could end up over here. We just need to be a little bit careful about that. But the first thing though really is that we'll be looking for short trades, and then secondly long trades, not because I'm thinking we're more bearish than bullish, it's just that a bearish trade setup would come first. So last time we spoke, I didn't do the video yesterday, we had all of New South Wales had, I don't know, probably everybody, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to really look at the news that much, but some pretty awful flooding going on. But yeah, we had I'm in Blackheath in the mountains, Blue Mountains, so yeah, we had a fair bit of rain that sort of obviously flooded electrical things out somewhere. But wave A here, wave B here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was the last thing that we're looking at to come up into the box here anyway. So we've got that turn here. So with this turn, we've got this nice impulse wave down here. You can see that that's got nice long legs in the third leg here, and wave 1 and 5 here, and nice ABC for 2. And then that wave 1 could also go here as well. I have to pull that apart, it doesn't really matter too much, but I can see 1 and 2, and then 3, 4 here, and then down for 5 here for that. So wave 3, 4 and 5 finishing. So we have a reasonable 5-wave structure down here. So that means we can look for the ABC correction, the 50-60% retracement levels in the box here. So just note this little trend here, we need to pull that in line with the US market. So just looking at the NASDAQ here, basically we've got 5 waves down here, and we had a bit of a dog leg in here, but staying with this as the A wave here, the A, B, C for the B wave, the S&P is the same, and then 5 waves up here. So it's kind of where we are in a way for the for our market. So we're looking at 1 and 2 here. So we've still got a little bit more to go up here. We can put that probably in there now. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. So I could just put that in there. But still a little bit more to finish off here. So we'll look for wave 4. Wave 4 can actually pull back to the wave 4 1 lesser degree, and then wave 5 over here, and then wave 4, and then wave 5. So a little bit to go to the upside to wave 4, yada yada yada. So to finish off there, they'll give you a bit of an idea. So we've got 2 more new highs. We've got this high and then another high. So that's, you know, that could happen in the Asian session as well for all of that to a point. So that means just looking at that, we would need to get one more here and then another one and another one. So we're not really going to be ready to short until tomorrow. And let's just say that if I do some more work, and if I would only turn bullish if we got a nice 5-wave structure up here, and then we got some sort of, well, there'd be an ABC at that point. So, you know, just in case you're thinking bullish, then you don't want to go chasing the market, because we'll need to look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 finishing up here. So if we do get that finishing off there in that way, then we'll end up going long over here. But otherwise we'll be looking for the short trade. If we've got 3 waves here, by the way, then we can short under that. But I mean, it's not really going to happen like that. So we'll look at that tomorrow. But you could probably, what you could do is look at what's the market's up above the 600. It's trading up there somewhere, and then eventually you're sort of keen to watch it, and it drops down below this level, and really you're looking for as a classic trading levels pattern on the downside, something simple like that, or it'll come back up above the level. So if that's the 600 here, it'll come back above the level in that regard. So I suppose a little bit like this over here, really, sort of see how that came through here, went back and tested it. That low's the important point there. Now you can sneak that low further up there, especially when you look at the futures market or the cash market, and you can see that that move up there is on lower volume than this move down here. Then you know that it's corrective, so then you can sneak it up a little bit further, you know, that type of thing. But yeah, just checking to see that 600 just visually in your own way is resistance, you know. So yeah, we still need to come down based on the S&P 5, on the bank, so CBA here. So yeah, I mean, we're still sitting on 90 here. So as I may have mentioned, that it does appear that this is in 3 waves here, so that's good. This move down here appears that it's in 5 waves. I kind of know what it looks like on a daily bar chart, so I don't need to count it. And then we're just looking for the bounce off here, you know, as an ABC, and then dropping. So I think that, not today, but tomorrow, that should drop through there, and you could also short it again and get down to 85 at least and take some money off the table. This whole move that's coming from this point here across here, it's a lot of volume, but it's still low volume compared to this stuff here. So yeah, nothing in there just yet. I know at the end of financial year as well, there's a lot of money shifted around, and there's always a good chance for a rally on the 30th or whatever they say, you know, or the day before or whatever. But anyway, to me, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. We still need to come down here for that. So that's not there yet, but that kind of ties the bearish count in for the markets, generally speaking. Now going over to the the iron ore, the metals and stuff, this is the US metals and mining here. I can see by this that we still need to come down further. So the world of metals and resources and that still need to come down further. Now wave 3 still a bit too short here for this. So obviously there's going to be bounce at the 40, but I'm just sort of saying that. You know, if we can count 5 waves down to this point here, and then we've made a new low here, then it doesn't make sense, you know, to have it finish like this. It just still needs to come down further. So yeah, just bear that in mind for the mining and metals in that sense. Just got to got all my US sectors sitting over here. So the iron ore. Yeah, so this needs to come down further. We don't need that there now. So we've got, doesn't count very nicely as wave 1. I mean, but I was 1 wave short up here as well. So I really feel like putting that over to there, but it doesn't really look the best. I never really resolved that. But anyway, we'll need to look at this as wave 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and we're looking this to move down. So There's going to be a fair bit of bouncing on the 650 area here for that, so that's going to hold up the BHPs of the world and the Rios and so on. So we need to expect, we're expecting it down, but there's a lot of bouncing to do before it gets down further. We'd like to see it take this low out here, so that keeps the resources down at this point. And so BHP as an ADR, what we did last time, or what we had nice 5 waves here. This is from the top, and then down here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then when that breached the low there, that basically creates a bearish picture. So this would also be roughly wave 1 coming down and a bounce off the 50. So as iron ore bounces off that 651, then we'll see the same thing going on here for that, okay? But either way, it's like the metals and mining thing. This that was on April. What's this on April? Yeah, so that top there, just to give you a bit of an idea, that's what makes why I have to look around the block a little bit. This top here is the April top here for the metals and mining, and that's the same over here for this top here. So you can see that they're on the same pathway, I should just change that to the other B. So yeah, just to let you know that, just sort of, I don't know, it's just nice to know that, you can kind of see other things working together in a way. So when we look at the Australian BHP, this is different at this point here, quite a lot really, if I look at this here, but we still need to go from this April top over here. So then in this case, it's all a little bit wonky, you know what I mean? But if I clean it up like this and look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then as an A wave and a B wave, then I can look at this as the A wave here and the B wave over here for that. And then look at those 5 waves down here as those 5 waves down here being breached here. And we'll be sitting at the 40 here, so it's bouncing around the 40, but this would be 1 and 2 coming in and then still needs to come down. So it's got the, I'm trying to tie them all into the same picture, because they are the same picture. They're the same industry in that way, And then we go over to Rio as well. So Rio's a little bit different here. I should actually, what I should do here is that's probably March, April, February, April top there. So this is out of whack a little bit. But I might just lift this up a little bit here, and then a C wave down here. We want I just know we need to be up a degree of structure. That's also you don't need to worry about. It's just me really. So we still need to come down, whichever the count you want to look at it at, and the 100, one being the strongest number. We're going to get some bouncing here, but it still needs to come through, right? So it's downwards on that, and the same with FMG here. This move down here, we looked at this same as the other markets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correction, and then down and back here, another little bounce here, and that you can see that move up on yesterday was on lower volume than the previous day, so we know that it's corrective, so it'll push up and then it'll push down again. I think we had a green line in here somewhere, might be short there, but anyway, you can look to short it if you wish. And yeah, still needs to come lower at that point. Natural gas, I'm just going to put this BHP chart back here for a moment, and the natural gas, I just want to have a look at, this is the US energy sector here. Now I did have this as, this is sort of bugging me a little bit, I've got to kind of figure it out, but I had this as wave 4 here and then wave 5 over here, but it's just too small for a B wave here, and when I'm counting natural gas we're still counting sort of 5 waves down a bit, so I just want to put this B wave out of the way, and I want to put this over here, and then I just want to show you why, and this still needs to come down a bit further here for that. So an A wave, a B wave and a C wave up here, so I'm going to go to the 10 ticks. 10 ticks, and we'll just have a closer look at that. So bear with me. So here we've got a nice 1 2 3 4 5 for 1 and 2, and then 1 2 3 4 5 for the third wave. That's nice. So we were looking at this being the fourth and then the fifth here, but really it's in 3 waves here. And then if I look at this here, it's a bit of a long shot here, but it'll have to be wave 1 and 2 to here, then 1 2 3 4 5 here for third wave, fourth wave, 1 2 3 4 5. So I can get 5 waves out of here without feeling guilty that I've pushed the counts too far or anything. And then it does leave us with this nice ABC pattern here for this as well. So it's just a possibility. And then I sort of looked at this here, and I've got 1 and 2 here, and 3 4, and I've got 1 2 3 4 5. So I could put wave 1 over here, but then I can't justify this here. So I'm thinking that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then here we got wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here, and ABC for 4 and down for 5. Now that's sort of bending the bow a little bit, and then looking at this as 1 and 2, and this would be some sort of 1 and 2, 1 2 3 4 5. So I think this still needs to come down and land here. So if that's the case, if I'm looking at this right, because it just looked always too small to put the B wave over here. I mean, it's possible, but and having that 3 waves down here as that, you know, thing. So anyway, it's just a little bit of a puzzle that I don't really have any answers for yet. So just to bear that in mind. So we're coming over to the natural gas. This is 2K tick on here. We talked about having the top up here as an A wave, and then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 2 3 4 5 here for the third wave and the fourth wave, and we can count the fifth wave down to here. Now that's okay, but I had a closer look at this. We could also put this as a fourth wave here, and the same as the energy sector, and bring wave 5 over here. So so I don't have any trades here for the time being. Okay, that's the point here. Now, I mean, we traded down here, we got out in here. We'll look at the 100 tick chart in a moment, but it's possible that we can have the low in here, but it wouldn't really match up with the energy sector in the US. But we've also got crude oil sort of falling out of bed as well, so we need to just have a quick look at that. So crude here. So with crude here, we know the whole thing is corrective, so we've got wave 3 here. You know, we need to tie it in with the gas market, the energy market as a whole, as you know, at the same time in a way. So the A wave, the B wave up here, and we can either come down for 5 waves for a C wave and come down further in this instance, or we're still in the triangle pattern. So we'll have this as an A and a B and a C wave for the A wave, the B wave, and 1 2 3 4 5 for the C wave here. That would also make wave C here. I could put this wave 4 over here, and then go up for the D wave. Now this is quite interesting, because if we do that, if we finish off here, then this D wave that comes in for crude would be the rally, you know, and then we could have the finishing the triangle off over here for the downside here. So this move up here, this is not finished yet, right? So that's not finished, and then we have that rally. So if we take that image and look at this here, well, let me take this. I'll leave that there, but I want to go to the 100 ticks, and it'll be a slightly different pattern, but let's just go in, and it's 10k enough. Yeah, so over here I've got it a little bit differently. So I've got this as wave 4 here, but then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, because it makes a nice A, B and C wave to this point here. It doesn't really give me a nice 5 wave structure down here. It looks like 5 waves, but it's actually not quite there for that. Or could I move that in there? Can I go 1 2, pushing that a little bit to be, that's really part of that 1 2 3 4 5. So then at least be that one. So it still gives me a little A, B and C here for this, probably, yeah. So it's just a little bit, maybe this wave 4 still in play here, really. Maybe this wave 4's in play, and we still need to go down for wave 5 of so basically, while crude oil is going through this 4th wave and then this 5th wave here and then the D wave here, then we can go you know, we can look at this going up here somewhere and then coming down to the 5 here, where we will get a bounce here. How big is the question? But I think that's where we can start looking at when crude goes back up for its D wave at that point. Then we can come back up here in 3 waves here and have a have this B wave coming in here, even if it doesn't go to the 50-60%, but back to, you know, supply at that level there. So yeah, I haven't really resolved this little puzzle just yet. If you've got any ideas, send them through, but that's where I'm stuck at the moment for that. So let's just clear these away. Whoops a daisy. That's gas. So I'll just go straight over to the gold market here. So this is GDX here, and as you may know, we're just looking at this, you know, continuing to cruise down, and that's doing all of that. I have brought the stop down a little bit. I could probably bring it down to break even on top of that one. At this point, I don't see any sort of problems, any issues with that at this point. So we'll bring that down and get that one to break even, and those there. So we should still move down. We've got 28 now, so 28 is a really important number, and it's retested that. When we talk about 28, we can talk about 2650. If you're just getting into subtleties and all of this, so 2650 here and 2720 in here for group 2, but I won't bother about that at the moment. But that's the little group 2 in here. Once that 2650 becomes the resistance, we drop down to 25, and then we'll start to see some bounces up at that point. You may want to take some money off the table at this point at the 25, or take profit. I'll leave that with you at that point, but there's still further to move and groove at that point, but there will be, you know, a reasonably strong bounce at that point, but we should continue down on that. And also looking at US spot gold here, it's still possible to have the triangle here. Just means that I'd have to put wave A up here for that, and then look at this as 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 here, and put the B wave on this low here, and then look for the C wave up here for D. Possible. Probable. Doubtful. Anyway, not with the other markets sort of cruising down in that way, you know. So anyway, I think it doesn't really matter. We've had a little short trade here, so you should be able to put that on top of that little area there for that. But it will retest the 18 here once it drops through. It likes to go back and, well, it could prove me wrong, but normally that's what the case is at that point. So, or even some sort of retest at that point, but we should see it move down further. And Newcrest mining, we should basically, in one way or another, I haven't really pulled this on the intraday, I don't need to. We're going to get support at 20, that's going to bounce around. It's just going to, you know, it's going to be above the level, it's going to be below, it's going to be back above it. It's just going to be bouncing around this space for a while. So the 22 will really be the nice supporting area there. So any stops above that bar there would be good. Don't put it at 22.50. Don't put stops on whole numbers like that. So you can put it at 54 or 57. But that's still cruising down at that point. And the Australian dollar, so it's a bit, you know, I mean, I can count this here in different ways here. So if I leave the wave 4 here, then we can look at that as wave 1 here. Probably even look at it. I mean, the problem is this little move here is in like 3 waves here. I mean, that's 5 waves, and that's 5 waves, that's 5 waves, that looks like 5 waves, that's 5 waves. So it's a bit tricky to count this. You could do a fair bit sort of with it, but I'm thinking that if you wanted to short this again, because I can't remember what we talked about really, but you could short that under here, but I'm thinking it's going to be an A and a B and a C for that. And the reason I think there might be another, I mean, we can look at this as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, and the fourth wave, and then the fifth wave, and that's the low. Or we can have this as wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 to come down and finish off that way. So that's why I haven't put that under here, because it could go over here as well. And the reason I think that it can come down here is that if we look at the US dollar index for a moment, we've been looking for it to break through that. This is a daily chart. So here it looks like we've got 1, 2, nice strong third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave to come into play here, you know. Still got to move to the upside. And when I look at the euro on the flip side, but on the intraday here, from this top up here, I'd count it down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for 1, and then an A wave, a B wave and a C wave over here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think we've got a third wave here, fourth wave and fifth wave. So I could open it up even further, but I just don't have 5 waves down here. So this should, the euro and the Australian dollar should be sort of doing the same thing as the DAX and the S&P 500. So yeah, I just think there's a little bit more to come down on this, but we need a rally here first. And you know, if we do get, this is at what, 68 here, so it looks like a little impulse wave to the upside there, so it means we should see a dance, and we are getting a little dance across the 68. And if it pushes up here further, then you can just push it up to that low at that point, you know, or you can draw a you know, we'll talk about it further, but you could also just draw a line through there as well and short it up at this point once it becomes the resistance, you know. Okay, that's it. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.